How's it going today, folks? My name's Jason, and today I'll be showing you how I make pasta using freshly ground durum wheat, and I'm using a pasta extruder to do it. So let's get started. So I'm measuring out 200 grams of durum wheat berries. The pasta extruder can hold approximately 400 grams. That's the max for it, and uh, 200 is like the minimum that I like to use in it. See that this comes out a nice yellow after it goes through the comomio. So this is the Phillips, I believe it's called Viva Collection. That's the rotini attachment, and it's got like a fettuccine and a spaghetti attachment, which is what I'm using here. And that just plugs right in and tightens on there. So this dough is 40% hydration. So I've got 200 grams of flour, and then I'll be adding 80 grams of water to it. And just dusting the countertop here with a little bit more semolina flour. So one thing about this pasta extruder is it mixes up pretty nice, but you'll be able to see that some of the dough starts to stick on the side walls. There you can see it kind of just in that middle of that window sticking to there. So every once in a while I pause it and then just scrape that down. It's a little annoying, but this ends up working out pretty well regardless of that. So it mixes it for a couple minutes, and then basically there's an auger in that center shaft that right now it's spinning in a direction that'll put it back into the reservoir. So if anything like falls back in there, and then in a few minutes or just a little bit, it'll switch direction and start packing the extruder. And then there's a little warm drive that'll shove it out the front. So here it's going in the other direction. It's putting it into that little center shaft there. You can still see that there's some stuck on the sides. So I'm just taking off the little front bit, put it back in. And this comes with like a little plastic scraper to cut the noodles down, but especially with the rotini, it always ends up collapsing it. So I use a metal bench scraper and just generally get a better cut off of it. So you just choose your own length. Just let it go for however long that you want it. I like to get it, dust it with flour, get just a nice quick cut, and then get all the little pieces separated. Like especially with the spaghetti one, they can come out really close together and then kind of stick together. So it's important to separate them as fast as possible and then get some flour on them to keep them separated. This isn't like, perfect spaghetti that you would get, dried spaghetti that you get out of a box. There's a little bit of a texture to it. There's a YouTuber called Alex who kind of goes on this quest to find the perfect extruded pasta, and he wants it like perfectly smooth, but I like it a little bit rough, so I think the sauce sticks a little bit better to it. Again, you can see on the little paddles there, just especially in the back of that reservoir, it just dough ball kind of sticks on there. So right now it's backing out what was in the auger, and then it's kind of like redistributing itself. I'm just keeping those noodles separate. So now it's going back again to the packing mode. Yeah, just gotta, every once in a while, I just gotta get in there and dislodge everything. This is still like a relatively quick process. It takes about 10 minutes total to get 200 grams, which is like, a couple servings. I kind of figured that it's about 100 grams of flour equals a serving for me. So we're almost at the end here. Just going to get the last little bit out. And there's still like a little bit left in the bottom there. But yeah, just go directly into a pot of salted boiling water. Doesn't really take that long to cook since it's fresh pasta, like 3 to 5 minutes. Then out, and then just put it into like this little ragu bolognese type sauce, just a nice little meat sauce. Put it direct in. And I like doing it in a smaller volume of water so you can really, the starches concentrate in the water and it helps to thicken the pasta sauce. So that's about like 1.5 liters of water that I'm boiling in, which is plenty. You don't really need a deep pot. Kenji Lopez goes into that in his food lab book. If you want to, read more about why smaller pots work for pasta. And just mix it in. And it's okay if some of that pasta water comes over because, again, it helps to really give the sauce a nice texture to it. Just get all that you can out of there. Again, give it a good mix. Then plate it up. Just a shallow bowl here for presentation. And then nice little out of focus shot. Great little Parmesan cheese on over the top. And it's ready to go. It's just freshly milled homemade pasta.